The rain tasted like ash and regret. It plastered Jack Rourke's fedora to his skull, blurring the neon glow of the speakeasy sign across the street. He's been nursing a rye for close to an hour, the smoky air clinging to his threadbare overcoat. Vivian Sterling hadn't called, not that he expected her to. She's a ghost, beautiful and dangerous, leaving a trail of unanswered questions. The Sterling case was officially closed. Arthur Sterling, shipping magnate, found at the bottom of the East River, cause of death a drowning. Frankie the Hammer Rourke and 2 of his goons were apprehended, circumstantial evidence pinning them as the culprits in a botched deal run south. But Rourke felt the weight of it, the wholeness of a victory built on sand. He tossed back the last of the rye, the burn a welcome distraction from the persistent unease. Something wasn't right. The pieces didn't fit. The motivations clouded by a deliberate obfuscation. He's seen enough grifters and killers to recognize a staged narrative, and Vivian Sterling was the architect. He needed another angle, another conversation, a different drink. The dingy dockside bar, a salty siren, was a haven for the forgotten, the longshoremen, the dockworkers, the men who greased the gears of the city's underbelly. He found Sal hunched over a beer, his face a roadmap of hard living and silent suffering. "Mind if I join you, Sal?" Rourke asked, sliding onto the worn stool. Sal grunted, barely glancing up. "Depends. You got the coin?" Rourke tossed a silver dollar onto the counter. "Just looking for a little conversation." "Conversation costs money these days," Sal muttered, taking a long swig of his beer. "I'm interested in Arthur Sterling," Rourke said, keeping his voice low. Sal's eyes narrowed. He was a sharp. Ate up everyone in his path. Did he have any enemies? Everyone was his enemy. He cheated people, double-crossed them. He didn't care who got hurt. Sal paused, considering. He thought he was untouchable, said he had friends in high places. "Friends like who?" Rourke pressed. Sal shrugged. "Politicians, judges, police, the usual suspects." Sterling paid them to look the other way. Rourke nodded slowly. "Did Sterling ever talk about his shipments? Anything unusual?" Sal scratched his chin. He had a shipment coming in from Marseilles. Said it was industrial components. Needed them bad. Big money involved. "Did he say what kind of components?" Sal shook his head. "No, just said they were important. He was nervous about it. More than usual. Said he was expecting trouble." Rourke's mind raced. The industrial components. He remembered Elsie, Arthur Sterling's nervous secretary, mentioning the shipment. He's recalled the manifest. Antique firearms. A shipment of German Lubis and Morses. Arthur Sterling was dealing in weapons. He felt a cold knot of realization tighten in his stomach. This wasn't just about a double cross. This was about something bigger. Something far more dangerous. "Thanks, Sal," Rourke said, dropping another silver dollar on the counter. "You've been a great help." He stepped back out into the rain, the city lights blurring around him. He needed to talk to Elsie again. He needed to find out everything she knew about the shipment, and he needed to find out who else was involved. He found Elsie in her apartment, a cramped room above a Chinese laundry. She was huddled under a blanket, her eyes red and swollen. "Mr. Rourke," she said, her voice trembling. I didn't know. I didn't know about the guns." "Tell me everything, Elsie," Rourke said, his voice gentle but firm. She confessed. Arthur had confided in her, trusting her with information he hadn't shared with anyone else. The shipment wasn't just about money. It was about power. Arthur was supplying weapons to a shadowy organization, a group that operated above the law. They were planning something big, something that could destabilize the entire city. "Who are they, Elsie? Who's behind this?" She shook her head, tears streaming down her face. "I don't know the names, but Arthur said they were powerful, connected. He said they controlled everything." Suddenly, a sharp rap echoed through the apartment. Rourke's hand instinctively moved to his holster. He peered through the peephole. Standing in the hallway was Vivian Sterling, her face an unreadable mask in the dim light. Rourke hesitated, then opened the door. "Mr. Rourke," Vivian said, her voice cool and measured. "I need to talk to you." "What is it, Mrs. Sterling?" "I'm afraid Arthur didn't tell you everything," she said, stepping into the apartment. "There are others involved, people you wouldn't expect." She paused, letting her words hang in the air. Then she smiled, a slow, predatory smile that sent a shiver down Rourke's spine. "And I believe," she said, her eyes fixed on his, "you're about to meet them." The lights flickered and died, plunging the apartment into darkness. A single gunshot rang out, echoing in the sudden silence.